Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Michael in the Morning. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, 2020, and we have a lot of big news to cover with the second stimulus check and second stimulus package. There was a lot of interviews that took place yesterday that discussed very important points of the second stimulus check. So in today's video, we're first going to go over how Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell finally spoke out yesterday for the first time in a while, and he spoke about a standalone postal bill and what this could mean for the second stimulus check and the second stimulus package negotiations. Then we're going to get into House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and how she also came out and spoke for the first time yesterday as well. And she said how they are willing to cut their next relief bill in half to get an agreement with the Republicans on new legislation. And this is a major step in the right direction for a stimulus package. Moving on, we're going to go over what Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said in an interview with CNBC early yesterday morning about the second stimulus check and the status of negotiations, and important information there. And then finally, make sure to stick around until the end because we're going to go over how Senate Republicans on Tuesday, we're going to go over the new stimulus bill that has been circulating among Washington. So make sure to stick around for that. But before we get started, it would really mean a lot if you could like the video down below and subscribe to my channel so you could stay up to date on the second stimulus check, second stimulus package, as well as other news updates. It says 70% of you watching are not subscribed to my channel, so make sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the latest information with the second stimulus check and so you can be notified when my new videos come out. Also, don't forget, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below, and you can get $5 immediately when you download the Acorns investment app as well. So Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell spoke out yesterday on Tuesday with the Louisville Courier Journal about the second stimulus package. And he said that the standalone postal bill that the Democrats are coming back to Washington to vote on this Saturday could open the opportunity for discussion about something smaller than what the Speaker and the Democratic Senate leader were insisting on at the point of impasse. He's saying this could hopefully get them to agree on a smaller, skinny stimulus bill. He explained that he's open to calling the Senate back to Washington if the Democrats are willing to budge on the total price tag on the next relief bill. He said currently they want to spend $3 trillion. Republicans, they only want to spend $1 trillion. So he explains that if the Democrats are willing to come down more and negotiate, that he will definitely call back the Senate to vote. He explained how all parties right now agree on an additional stimulus package and how it is needed. However, he said their disagreement stands on how much should be spent in the bill. He explained how hopefully they can overcome these partisan passions that are getting in the way and come together to do what is needed for the American people and get direct checks out to the people quickly. He said the House is coming back to vote on Saturday and hopefully they can vote on a stimulus package as well this coming weekend. U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi also came out on Tuesday with big information, and she said that the Democrats in Congress are willing to cut their virus relief bill in half to get an agreement. This is something we have not heard of before, but let me break down exactly what she meant because it sounds different than what she actually meant. Nancy Pelosi said, "We have to try to come to an agreement now." And the good news here is that she explained how they are willing to cut their bill in half to meet the needs right now and then come back again in January to discuss more stimulus and pass another stimulus package. So this is a complete change from what she had said previously, because previously the Democrats and Speaker Nancy Pelosi said they were only willing to do a large, broad bill. But now she is saying they're willing to do a smaller, skinny bill, and then they could come back later on to pass more measures. This is exactly what the Republicans had been saying they wanted to do. They wanted to pass a bill that both sides agreed on now, and they said they could come back later. So this is a really good sign that they will come to an agreement this coming weekend, because now we're hearing from Nancy Pelosi the exact same thing that we had been hearing from the Republicans. Now they're both saying, let's pass a smaller bill on the aspects we agree on, and then we can come back later on to vote on more. Nancy Pelosi also said that she did not want to wait to reach a deal by the end of September, when Congress will need to agree on funding to keep the government open during the next federal fiscal year, which begins October 1st. She said she wants to come to an agreement now. She doesn't want to wait anymore. So this is really great news. However, her statements sounded different than what they actually meant, because Pelosi's spokesperson, Drew Hamill, later said that she was referring to previous offers to meet Republicans halfway. She did not mean cutting their bill in half to 1.5 trillion. So it sounded like she meant they would cut their bill in half, because that is exactly what she said. But really, according to her spokesperson, she simply meant they need to meet in the middle to come to an agreement. This is still good news, though, because she explained how they want to pass a smaller bill in the meantime on the items they agree on. Moving on, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin spoke about the state of the second stimulus package and Democrats coming back to the negotiating table to vote on more relief. He spoke about this earlier on Tuesday on CNBC. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin on Tuesday criticized top Democrats for what he categorized as stubborn tactics and a refusal to discuss any reasonable deal to provide relief for American consumers and businesses afflicted by the pandemic. He goes on to say, though, that despite Congress not acting and not passing a stimulus bill yet, because Pelosi and Schumer aren't willing to sit down and strike a reasonable deal, he explained the president has moved forward with executive orders to at least provide more additional unemployment benefits in the executive orders. Now there's a $300 per week or $400 per week unemployment payment. But he goes on to explain that the good news here is that the House is returning to Washington this week on Saturday to vote on postal service bill, and that since Nancy Pelosi is coming back to look at the postal bill, hopefully she will be more interested in sitting down and negotiating on more stimulus. And just to add on top of this, Nancy Pelosi did confirm this later in the day by saying that she is willing to do a smaller bill in the meantime. Finishing off the interview, Mnuchin explains how the president wants us to do more. He wants us to provide more money for kids and jobs, a second round of PPP, and an additional round of direct stimulus payments of $1,200. He explains how there's a lot of bipartisan support for adding more money to the Payment Protection Program and for $1,200 stimulus checks. So with that in mind, he said that President Trump is pushing for them to get these passed, and he explained how they already have an agreement in principle with the Democrats on these specific areas. So now all they have to do is, if both sides are willing to pass a small deal, just put together all these items they agree on, put these in a small bill, and get it passed very quickly. And finally, let's go over the new bill that we have been hearing about from Senate Republicans. So Senate Republicans on Tuesday began circulating a text of a narrow stimulus relief package that would revive extra unemployment benefits at half their original rate, so $300 per week, shield businesses from lawsuits related to the virus, provide funding for testing and schools, and feature money for the postal service. It is missing one key aspect, which is the $1,200 stimulus check, but this draft measure appears to be an effort to break through the stalemate going on right now and get both sides back to the negotiating table. It shows the Democrats that Republicans are willing to come back to the table and start negotiating, and we already know that Democrats are going to be in Washington, so this is a good sign. However, this bill is unlikely to alter what is going on and what both sides want right now, because Democrats have repeatedly rejected previous Republican offers as insufficient. And since this new bill would spend less money in fewer areas than the previous proposals that have been made, it is unlikely that much will be done with this bill. It's mainly just going to get both sides back to the table to finally put together a bill that they can agree on, and they both agree a smaller bill in the meantime can work. So anyways, that is just a quick update on what is going on with the second stimulus check and second stimulus package as of Wednesday, August 19th, 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. Be sure to let me know in the comments which 2 free stocks you got when you downloaded the app. Also, you could get $5 immediately when you download the Acorns investment app as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.